So, Mark, did you see that video from this last weekend? So much to talk about from this last weekend, but people hanging out at the Wynn Pool Club, enjoying it. This guy is just sort of hanging out, thinking he's so cool. This lady comes up, offers him a shot. Can you imagine drinking that stuff?
You know she peed right before she did it too. Like it would probably like if they had the color, it'd be all purple, and then she dipped it in, then it could look like a real shot. But no, that's a pretty dirty trick with all the crap we've talked about that's floating in that water, pun intended. So yeah, hopefully he goes and gets his shots after. It's like getting bit by a wild animal. Like go get that shot.
Yeah, go get your rabies shot. I don't know what's worse is like getting tricked into drinking pee water in the pool or having it go viral on social media. All right, Mark, the big news of the weekend was the wind. I know that it sounds crazy for somebody not from Las Vegas to think that the wind could be such a factor, but we get these big windstorms every once in a while. There was a huge windstorm that came through this weekend. 40 plus mile per hour winds with gusts up to 65 miles per hour. And our beloved When We Were Young festival was a victim, at least on Saturday. Did you see that? They just canceled it. Everybody was scrambling all over town to find entertainment.
Yeah, I can't imagine, that's bringing in a lot of people. So I can't imagine how crazy it was on the strip and everywhere. And we've talked about how hard it is to get restaurant reservations and clubs and all that stuff. And now you have all these people that weren't expected to be doing anything looking for that type of stuff. So it was probably a hot mess, and I'm sure everybody hated it, but what can you do? Have you guys ever had like a big sandstorm like in like a Mission Impossible movie or The Mummy or anything? Like just a squall where you see it coming and then it blacks out your whole neighborhood?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this particular storm, if you were out in areas with more like exposed dirt, the visibility got pretty bad. I've been in storms like driving on the 15 between Vegas and like California because there's these big sand dunes where where you can't see anything. So it gets pretty crazy. And it was insane. There was a lot of people trying to like make parallels to the Fire Festival with When We Were Young and them canceling. Obviously, first off, I think When We Were Young is run by Live Nation. So it's not like it's some rinky-dink independent outfit running this music festival. But also they had 3 shows. The Sunday show was able to go on without a hitch. And then the coolest thing was, did you see that the band sort of spread all around town and did free shows at all these smaller venues all around town? Things like the Sand Dollar at Plaza, Soul Belly, there was just all over town. Fremont Street Experience, they had several bands where they packed people in. So at least they were able to make some good stuff out of the crazy weather.
Yeah, that's cool of them to do. And, what does Fremont Street need more than more people crammed in that corridor? But, no, that's what, something unique and something different. Maybe they even had a better experience, especially if it's like a band that you wanted to see anyway, and you get them in a more intimate experience. Maybe some people actually enjoyed it better. So that's definitely good to see that they pulled something off.
The funny thing was a lot of these bands are emo bands. So you have a lot of these emo kids from like the 90s and stuff walking around Las Vegas. They're already kind of like sad people. And so like the jokes all over TikTok and social media were about all these sad emo people walking all over the strip. So it was just a fun sort of event to watch from far away. Like I said, thankfully it went off on Sunday without a hitch, and it went really well. And we talked about the lineup for next year, which is more punk rock, I guess. So next year you'll have all the punk rockers walking the strip for it. But yeah, kudos to every venue. Big venues like Resorts World taking massive amounts of people in, as you might imagine, since they're right next to the festival grounds. Downtown Las Vegas stepped up. All kinds of small venues in the Arts District, all the way to Fremont Street, gave these people a good time on Saturday, and they all get their money back. So I guess it's a win-win for them, even if they can't go to the festival. Hopefully, those people had 2-day tickets, so they could still go on Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully they got to experience some of the festival and show. Going to Vegas is expensive, and it's not like anything that the venue could do, or they can only give a refund, but you put all that money and investment and time to get there. So hopefully they were able to get in on Sunday, or find some tickets if not.
Yeah, don't mess with the Vegas win. That's the number one rule. It's crazy.
How many trampolines ended up in power lines?
A lot of them. A lot of flights canceled. It was the talk of the town all weekend. What I haven't seen a lot of talking about, which I think is a fascinating story, is that Caesars wants to bring a Caesars Palace to Times Square. New York is issuing 3 new casino licenses for like the down part of New York, the southern part of New York. basically New York City. And it's hard to like imagine New York City with casinos in it. Of course, there is that Resorts World casino that's like on the site of an old racetrack. So it is in the city, but it's not like in Manhattan. But Caesar's Palace is kind of teaming up with SL Green, who's a real estate development partner. They want to manage this place, a building in Times Square. I think it's a pretty awesome idea.
I don't know how they pull it off, man. Like, how do you fit that craziness into the craziness of Times Square? And then what is it going to be, like $47 a beer if Caesars takes it over? I mean, it'd be great for Caesars because you definitely have people in there all the time. I don't know if it'd be a great casino environment for big gamblers or people that are interested in it. I guess if you live in the city, you'd like to have that option, but I can't see myself like wanting to go hang out there if I was going to go put in a session or whatever. So I think it'd be more of a touristy trap thing, very expensive. But, Caesars would roll in the dough and then cut back on everything.
It is interesting. You live in a city, Detroit, where you have these casinos sort of in the downtown area, in more of a wild area like the Greektown Casino or something in Detroit. So, yeah, I think it would be like a very chaotic place. But like you said, there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of new hotels getting built in New York, new luxury properties. So there is probably room in the market for something like that. But, I think the whole argument of whether you want casinos in New York City is a different one. Wynn is also working with a partner to develop a casino down near the Hudson Yards area in Manhattan in New York City. So it just seems like we're heading to a place where you could walk into any bodega and play slots or something like that. I don't know. It's just weird to think of big casinos in New York City.
Yeah, I mean, the really cool thing would be if you're a player with Caesars, maybe this works into where you could get comp rooms there, even if you're not planning on going to gamble, just to visit New York or stay in town. When Caesars was involved in the Horseshoe casinos in Cleveland and stuff, I always used that, like my play in Vegas, to get me a free room when I go to Cleveland and stuff like that. So those are kind of like the side benefits of this type of stuff when a big conglomerate, expands its footprint. Yeah, as far as like it will be a destination like the Wynn in Boston, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'd probably bet more on that Wynn hotel down on Hudson Yards than this.
That would be cool.
But we'll see how it happens. Eater had an article, 10 hot new brunches in Las Vegas. We haven't done any food stuff for a while, so I thought I would highlight this. We'll put a link in the description. People always looking for cool brunch options. I was happy to see that the House of Blues is bringing back their gospel brunch, which is sort of an old staple, but I guess it had gone away with COVID. They have like a really cool like Southern breakfast buffet with like gospel music. Really neat. On the list was the Garden Table at Bellagio, which is that new dining concept out in the conservatory.
Who's going to spend thousands on brunch, but yeah.
Or you could just go to Siddell's, like, a few steps away and eat the same food. Bodega Bagel. This was another one that was on the list that I thought was cool. Mark, I love my bagels. But Bodega Bagel started at that test kitchen down on Fremont. That kind of cool place that allows different chefs to kind of get their concepts off the ground. And they've actually moved into a full-time location in Henderson now, where the bagels are surprisingly good, according to people. I have not tried it. It's on my list. Got to get there soon. But Bodega Bagel. So all kinds of new brunch options all around the Strip and off the Strip.
I like tacos and tequila. Like, what screams breakfast more than tacos and tequila?
I mean, it's Vegas, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, sometimes you need hair on the dog, so I guess that works for it. But it just seemed like a weird, restaurant to put brunch at.
All right, now I know this next story is one that you're going to be excited about. This place called Chicken and Pickle is coming to Las Vegas. Sports and entertainment venue. It looks like this cool, like outdoor park space with like a bar, pickleball courts, other things, other games and stuff like that. We had a meetup in Detroit at like a 2-story container ship bar place. It kind of looks similar to this. I don't know. But it looks like a cool place. The idea is for families to be able to hang out. You play all the games. You're able to get some good food, some good drinks. I don't know. This looks pretty cool to me.
Yeah, I was surprised that pickleball is the choice. Like, I didn't think that was a hugely popular game. I know the courts are smaller, so it's a little bit easier. But I thought that was more of like a retirement activity. Maybe it's bigger than I thought. So I don't know how much use those will get. But like, they have the cornhole, shuffleboard, all that stuff, just open area. It looks like they have a stage set up for live music and stuff. Really cool concept, outdoor area. I don't know if anybody's going to be playing pickleball in the summer.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it right there. Their current locations are in Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Wichita, and San Antonio. I think this is going to be a great venue like 9 months out of the year, but the summers, they're going to really suffer. But maybe at night, that's when they'll do their business in the summertime.
Yeah, I could see going there at night, and or maybe they'll put canopies over the courts so it's not so bad. But I don't know. Pickleball is a weird choice. I think the rest of it looks amazing. I definitely want to check it out, especially if the food's good. You know, if they got good chicken, then they'll get people just from that.
And let's finish off talking about the beloved Mirage Villas. We've talked an update on Mirage turning over to Hard Rock. That's probably going to be a few years before the name changes. Hard Rock International taking ownership before the end of the year, most likely, if not really early next year. And Mirage has these villas. A lot of people don't know about this, but these villas were really built as, you know, the place for all of the entertainers that they host. These are like super exclusive hotel rooms, go for like $5,000 a night, probably comped most nights. But Mike from Vegas Snob got a chance to celebrate his 40th birthday party there. He dropped the $5,000 a night or roughly there in order to get these rooms. He got Villa number 8, which I think is 8,500 square feet, Mark. 3 bedrooms. It looks incredible. Designed in the 90s, but looks, very, very up to date. Every material looks top of the line. He wrote a whole review, so we'll kind of go over it. But what were your thoughts of this villa? We'll talk about, I guess, the room, and then we'll talk about some of the other amenities you get along the way.
Yeah, I thought it was a amazing place. It looks like you're staying in a mansion, basically, with your own backyard and pool and all that stuff. Really cool. And the only area I thought that it showed that it was from the 90s was probably the theater room or entertainment room, with the wood paneling and the smaller TV. Like, I think they could definitely update that a bit. You'd like to see like some type of stadium seating type of thing for a 3-bedroom. I don't know. That's what's so weird about Vegas. Like, you go to Vegas, you don't want to stay in the room, but if you're staying in a villa, I feel like you're going to stay in the room the whole time. So maybe that is important, especially if you're going for like football weekend, basketball weekend, something like that, making bets, and you have your whole crew over and stuff. But it looked fantastic, just unbelievably amazing.
Yeah, and he talks about the experience, top notch. You're having butler, they contact you months out. They'll set up anything that you really want. Some other interesting things for cheap people like us, right? One night he had buddies in his room and they cracked open a couple bottles of alcohol, to which he got like a polite note the next day that if they did it again, they would have to charge a corkage fee. So they really do enforce that no outside food or drink thing. These villas, they cost $26 million to build in 1992, according to him. He says that it can cost upwards of $2,000 a day to maintain these villas. I mean, we're not talking about like hotel rooms, right? You're talking about full mansions, palaces. To your point, they have pools. Like the pictures, I didn't realize the amount of outdoor space these things had. Not just the pool and the spa, but almost like park areas. And it's, they're back there by where the secret garden is.
Putting green and all that stuff. Said you can hear lions eating in the morning, which was kind of cool. I did laugh. He said he might have taken the golf ball back with him. It looked so beat up, like it had been out there on the putting green for 3 years. Like, you think you'd give them a new sleeve of golf balls if they're spending $5-6 a night. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. So as for what Hard Rock is going to do with the villas, we don't really know. Mike talks about, and this is the same thing we've heard, that Hard Rock really is punting that. So it's probably going to be the last thing they touch. Yeah. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they just update them. I mean, obviously, with the level of materials that's in there, any amount of renovation is going to cost just a fortune to do, millions and millions of dollars to fix these rooms. So I'm guessing that they want to keep it there, but it gives them a nice thing for their high rollers. It's an interesting part of Las Vegas history, the first big mega resort, finding these things. We've seen since then MGM built their big mansions. We've seen those Palazzo suites at Rio. Other things have come, but this is really the gold standard for luxury hotel rooms, I guess, in Las Vegas. And it's cool to get an inside look, a really detailed review. We'll leave a link in the description. I highly recommend going through all the photos, seeing this part of Las Vegas you don't get to see too often unless you're one of the privileged.
Yeah, I think he said $21,000 for 3 nights? And I'm guessing that includes food and drink and everything built in.
But his host took $300 off the bill, so...
Yeah, and then $300 to $500 a day in tipping, because you're tipping everybody that comes in and takes care of some stuff. But the service seemed great, and I liked reading about what other people ask for. Like, they have it decorated up as a haunted house and stuff for their family to come and walk through. And he said he didn't really take advantage of that. And I feel like anybody that's doing it and is not used to that lifestyle, just doing it as a blowing their wad, so to speak, for a big birthday and stuff. They don't really take advantage of it as much as they could, and I think he realized that towards the end. And next time he goes back, he might do that. Like I said, hey, they could have planned my birthday party; it would have been great. Everybody just wanted to get back to the villa when we were out eating dinner and stuff, and they can bring the food in. They'll give you great service. So I think that's like, if you're gonna do this, like, don't leave, just be there.
Absolutely. When you get a good room like that, enjoy it for everything that it is. That's sort of like the double-edged sword. Who wants to go out and gamble when you have such a nice place to go hang out,
Can afford
especially if
to.
you got your friends? Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think about any of these topics, about the villas, about the crazy wind, the music festival, all that stuff. If you like the channel, don't forget to subscribe, smash that notification bell. It helps us out a lot. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Go green, beat Michigan.